Hi everyone, I'm Caroline from DG Connect, and I'm here together with State Secretary for Economic Affairs and Climate from the Netherlands, Mona Keijzer. We're here at Digital Day. This morning we discussed the ethics guidelines for artificial intelligence. Oh, sorry. This morning we discussed the guidelines for artificial intelligence. So can you tell us a bit about how ethics is incorporated or will be incorporated in technology in the Netherlands?
Well, I congratulated the expert. What's the name? The high representatives.
High-level expert group.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With their ethical guidelines, which they launched today. But in the Netherlands, 2 weeks ago, we had a summit on digital topics, where Nederland ICT, a representation of 600 Dutch companies, already launched their code of conduct. And it's a little bit the same. You can see the same principles in those both in this code of conduct and the guidelines which were presented today. It's about human-centered AI. And one of the principles, for instance, is that you should always be able to understand which decision is made. And that's about transparency and explainability. And we shouldn't be too quickly to respond to this discussion. Well, it's complicated, it's technical, so people don't understand. I always say, well, I'm a humble lawyer. I'm not into the techniques of algorithms, but I have a brilliant son at home who does. Yeah. And there are all sorts of organizations who do. And it's important in checks and balances of power that the transparency can be checked, that in transparency they can check the technique behind algorithms. Now the next step is to see how the guidelines work in practice. And a Dutch company, a Dutch scale-up, Virtual Vaults, is one of the companies who will test the guidelines. For instance, black boxes, the situation where an algorithm makes this decision and nobody knows why, is a situation where I strongly believe that we should prevent it from happening, because then you end up with computer says no. Yep. And computer says no, that's one of the reasons why people don't trust AI. So it's very important that for the next months to come, to see how the ethical guidelines work in practice, and to make sure that the things which are written down now are the right ones.
Thank you very much. The EU also presented its coordinated plan in December, and I understand that the Netherlands is also working on their own AI strategy. Can you tell us a bit more about that already?
Well, it's a national agenda where we, the Dutch way, I always say, in cooperation with government, companies, knowledge institution, university, are trying to write down where we think our strength is, where we should be investing, and of course what it means from an ethical point of view, what we need to educate our people. Because I talked to my Belgian colleague this morning, and they did an inquiry, and they found it that people who don't know what AI is don't trust it. Yeah. So it's very important to explain to people what AI is and how it can change their lives in a positive way, because at the end of the day, it's also a very positive technique, a positive discussion where we can make things happen which we can't imagine now.
Yeah, and do you already have a date for when the strategy will be published?
Everything is planned for this summer.
Okay, perfect. So we'll keep an eye out. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.